Hey, you made it.
Did you think I'd stand you out?
Well, I was worried there might have been some new calamity.
We do seem to have bad luck that way.
Yeah, we seem to get interrupted a lot, don't we? Our timing is not the greatest. My timing is not the greatest.
Nathan,
Nathan, could you come with me?
is everything okay?
All good. The governor just needs it.
I seem to have jinxed things.
Go. I'll see you later.
Is it?
There could be trouble. We need to find Bill.
Well, I think it's kind of nice to do it at the end of the penultimate episode because then you get a full episode to really enjoy the afterglow.
The afterglow, yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
They get their honeymoon phase at the end of
Right.
on 12, you know?
Exactly.
Which I think is what everybody's been like, why are they constantly getting interrupted? Like, what's going on? What's going on? So finally, when it happens, they are we give the fans 12
Yes.
to get a glimpse of what life is going to be like
In season 12.
in season 12. Yeah. Stop mansplaining,
No.
Nathan, and just listen to me.
Yeah, I think there were several contributing factors there, but in episode 11, she has a realization that actually Nathan is maybe still holding on to some fears or feelings that she needs to address. Like, I think there was a part of Elizabeth that thought, oh, okay, I can just tell Nathan that friends don't look at friends that way, and
He'll get it.
he'll take the hint and then like be in the driver's seat again. But all sorts of things got in the way, and she just kind of realized that no, he needs her to make that first real move, and at least emotionally, Nathan makes the first physical move.
She also had things to say that were not said yet.
Yeah.
You know, like she hasn't told him like why she ran away from him in season 8 and what was going on in her mind and all that. So all that stuff had to kind of come to the surface.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably what Nathan was waiting for. So I'm happy.
Shy.
Maybe he was a little shy. Maybe he was a little shy. But I'm happy that Elizabeth, you know, was the one that did all the talking in that. Well, doesn't he say that like right at the end, like just before they kind of go over the? So like, you know, she gets that, but I mean
Was
that's.
it right before, or was it like between them?
I thought he said, "I've never stopped loving you."
Yeah, is it like kiss and then I've never stopped loving you and then kiss again? We shot this.
Yeah, we shot that a lot. I thought it was he says it and then they kiss. Wait, so it's kiss. Oh, you're right. She says it.
And then
he
you
walks
do the
up,
like
kisses it,
slow intentional walk.
pulls back, says it, and then kisses again.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yes, exactly. I just checked the notes, but yeah, it's true.
Oh. I really liked that it was simple. I think simplicity speaks to the nature of the relationship between Elizabeth and Nathan, despite the sort of roller coaster. But they're simple people. It was just a moment on Elizabeth's porch. She's journaling, and actually I think for the first time on our show, we had an interruption of that voiceover where Elizabeth is journaling to herself, and then it's Nathan's presence that kind of shakes her out of it. It was,
Yeah, and I think like, you know, they, you know, might have a, like simple is, they are that, but like the words and things that were said were, you know, they're not simple. They were
Right,
poetic
anything
in a way.
poetic.
Yeah, and you know, I also remember knowing about that scene pretty early on, you know, in the season. I know you were like, you got a great line that you say, like it like that was they knew that's where they were going to go, so they were kind of building it from that point. So yeah, we kind of knew it was coming, and some things got massaged, of course, but I think it worked out really well.
There was a real sense of care from not just the two actors on set, but the whole crew and our director, Peter. I mean, everyone wanted to make sure that we really set the tone right and took our time. It was a beautiful night. It was peaceful. It was, lovely. And I hope that our viewers appreciated that. I hope that it gave them what they wanted out of that moment they've been waiting for.
Yeah. If anybody quit at like episode 10, like that's it. They're never getting together.
Too many interruptions.
You just missed it.
There's nothing that comes to mind that was an idea that was scrapped. I think there were conversations about where should this take place, what felt right, and that was something that was kind of discovered as the season went on, as we kind of learned more about what was working for their characters. We had a lot of porch scenes over the season, and so that became a meaningful place for them.
It was a conscious creative decision.
Yes, well said.
I remember early on, we were kind of being like, what do you think? Do we, put them together a lot earlier, and, or do we kind of elongate this? And I think based on what happened at the end of season 10, the right thing to do was elongate it. Like Elizabeth just got out of that relationship. And even though months did pass in between, the off season and certain things, like time is not felt the same for the viewers. So I think in respect for all the people that wanted, Elizabeth and Lucas, it was important to kind of space out those romances.
And as far as like the months that passed between the season 10 finale and the season 11 premiere, those were months that Elizabeth and Nathan weren't seeing each other. So if you think about it, this breakup happens, they see each other for the first time, there's that first awkward conversation where you almost knock over a bouquet of flowers or whatever it was.
Yeah, right.
And they were timid, unsure. There were still questions on both sides. So yes, there were a lot of interruptions, but I think it made sense for these two people. And by the time that first kiss finally happens, it's really earned. And I like to think the viewers are very ready for it at that point. No.
Probably not.
No.
Probably not.
I mean, we're talking about a potentially blended family at some point with little ones. Like, there are bound to be interruptions.
Mm-hmm.
And Rosemary knocking on the door. Hello.
You're right.
Or not knocking.
Coming over every time the light's on. Well, actually, we move into that in episode 12, right? Like, I mean, the family begins to blend in episode 12. We touch on that.
We do. I mean, I think I don't want to give away too much about episode 12, but there are conversations about how this development
dynamic
will land on the children and wanting to make sure we're respectful of them.
I think everybody in the town knows this is coming, and I think that's said a lot by people in episode 11. That it's like, well, clearly, come on, hurry up, pick up your feet. So
what does Bill say? Molasses.
You move as slow as molasses in January. Yeah, but like everyone knows, everyone's just being like, have you guys figured this out yet?
Right.
So I don't think anybody in the town is going to be surprised. Let's say that.
True. Nathan was ready in season 8.
Yeah, he's been ready for a while.
I think Elizabeth really had to go on this journey of self-discovery and realization and kind of getting to the true core of how she really feels, and make some peace with the trauma she experienced. And we're at a point in her development where she's ready. Oh, she's ready.
Oh, she's ready.
It's on.
In season 11, not much. I think it's more of a honeymoon phase after episode 11.
the kids.
What does become a concern is news that they receive at the end of episode 12.
Bit of a old cliffhanger.
Yeah. But and they do have a conversation about some things that happened prior. You know, there is room for questions and answers based on things that have happened in prior seasons that we do get to in episode 12. Yeah. But concerns, I don't, you know, there's nothing like really, there's no sword hanging over this relationship at the present moment.
Right.
That's happened a couple times.
It has.
I believe.
Yeah.
You gotta stop walking to the saloon. You use that another door. Well, I mean, you know, he doesn't want to do anything to set off the gun, or, you know,
Right.
set off the guy holding the gun. Yeah, I mean, I think what transpires in the saloon and then later in a giant hay bale almost prevents them from getting together.
Nearly.
Yeah, because Nathan just realizes that, you know, if they're together, there'll always be a danger element in it, and he doesn't want Elizabeth to be hurt. So, you know, that kind of stunts that until Elizabeth opens up with her monologue. I don't know. What do you think about? There she goes again.
Yeah, I mean, we raised the stakes a lot in episode 11, and I think that the hostage situation is a very dramatic, exciting one, and so cool to shoot. I mean, we stayed up all night shooting those sequences and in and outside of the saloon on our last day of work this season, and a lot of thought and effort went into planning that sequence. So it was just a really interesting new color for us to play on One Calls.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was such a fun climax, really, of that episode, of them going over the saloon railing together into the hay bale.
It was one of those ideas that when it was initially pitched, we thought, oh, this is so cool. This would be so fun and something so different for us to get to do. We probably won't be able to do it though, because, you know, we weren't sure if it would actually be safe to make it happen, but production really rose to the occasion and figured out a way to put all the pieces together.
And they did it. Like we didn't fall over, but they definitely hired some people to fall over.
Some people fell over.
Yeah,
We just kind of went, boop.
Yeah, and then we just rolled onto the hay. Ow. Through like looks, they kind of came up with that plan, you know, and thank goodness Bill was behind too to kind of apprehend the bad guy right away. Otherwise, that plan wouldn't have made too much sense, because he could just like turn his gun to them lying in the,
Yes.
you know. Right. So thank goodness Bill was behind.
Thank goodness for Jack Wagner.
Yeah,
Is the moral
save
of
the day
story.
again, really. I'm curious to see how that one in episode 12 is going to turn
Yeah,
out.
that's what, if we're thinking of the same scene, that's
Yeah.
the one I was going to mention.
In the row house.
house. Yeah, it's a simple scene, I guess. It's really beautiful and vulnerable, and Kevin does he does a beautiful job of playing the vulnerability and being open when discussing, well, I guess you'll have to tune in. I didn't mean for that to
So-
be such a tease, but
I think they talk about some things that needed to be said, and haven't really been talked about since they were said a couple seasons ago. And yeah, I mean, I was surprised that it went over so well, I think, by, you know, the director, Peter DeLuise at the time was just, you know, he was like, this is a really great scene. It's a really
It was
important
nice.
scene. And it was, again, just, I think Erin and I's bread and butter are those scenes of just like sitting in it and being open and vulnerable with each other. And, you know, I haven't seen it yet, but
it's nice.
But I think it's a very impactful scene for the two of them.
We've had a few scenes over the years where, you know, we think it's a good scene, but then we get into it and maybe we get halfway through and we realize, oh no, this has gone in sort of a different direction, and we're surprised and delighted by what we've all created together. And this is one of
That
those.
scene one, yeah, I didn't see it becoming that,
Right,
and then
same.
I kind of did, and it was like, It's just one of the nice things, I guess, about just being present. And sometimes the scene takes on a different color than we thought it was going to.
Agreed.
I hope that, again, you have to understand what the climax is at the end of this season. So I tune in because I hope they're able to deal with that news and move forward. And then if they are, you know, I think it'll be really fun to see like the blended family start to really happen, you know, like yeah, I just think it'll be great to see them with each other's kids and yeah, just move forward in a way that the fans have wanted in a long time.
I completely agree with that. And do you have any hopes and dreams for Nathan as an individual?
You know, I hope there's some bounty action. I mean, I don't want to pull anything away from the pew 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 pew. So I hope that doesn't go away. But
Yeah.
again, I haven't seen anything.
I don't think that's going away.
All right, that's good.
My hope for Elizabeth is that we get to see her in a situation where she gets to loosen up a little bit and maybe be a little more silly or free or just maybe get to see a different side of Elizabeth. And maybe that will come out of this new love she's feeling. That joie de vivre.
Yeah, very nice.